Well, a good start. I'm going to give UNK credit. The Division II national champs, those guys wrestle really hard. I think we did a good job of, I told the guys beforehand that they're not going to give you anything. You're going to have to go take it. And I felt like we did in a lot of instances, later, late second period and the third period. I think we did a good job of kind of going out and taking it. But those guys don't give an inch. I think we, kind of did our job today. I think that was our job, and that's what we put out to them, is that we needed to go do this just this way. So I was proud of that fact. As the coach or the leader, you like people that follow rules and follow orders. And I told him just now, I said, this was fun tonight, but in 16 days, we've got a chance to do something even more fun. So it's going to be a chance for us to come back here and do something that I know these guys have wanted to do for a while and this program's wanted to do for a while. So obviously we always say the biggest match of the year is always the next match. And so that's what we've got in front of us right now, is the next match. But, I'm sure you'll have some questions about some individuals. I will say that, the guys that we did not wrestle tonight are really pretty healthy in all situations. There was different discussions with different individuals on maybe why we don't go tonight. Maybe I'll get into depth on some of those, maybe I won't, but I think the good news is we were probably being precautionary. We did put, 3 matches on those guys last weekend and the first weekend of the season. And that's kind of a toll, is to wrestle 3 matches the very first weekend of the season. And we probably felt it a little bit on Monday in some of those older guys. So that's kind of, in a nutshell, the reason we kind of held some guys today. But overall, a really good start.
Coach, Carter Pearson really battled in his close match today. Is this what you were expecting out of the freshman?
Yeah, Carter's done a good job. He did a really good job in our wrestle-off. He lost a close match in overtime against an upperclassman. And anytime you put a freshman out there, you never know what the heck's going to happen. But we've seen good things out of him in the room. We just don't know a lot about these guys except for they wrestle really hard. We don't obviously scout them. We don't see many tournaments. So this is kind of a hard one to prepare for, because all the matches we watch them wrestle are against Division II guys. So, they've all got some really good credentials. They're all ranked really high in the Division II world. So I know that guy had some really, he's an upperclassman. I think he was in the NCAA finals at Division II last year at 125. So we knew he was going to have a tough opponent. But I kind of had a feeling that Carter could compete with him. So it's a good win.
Thank you.
Can you talk about Connor Uten's reaction at the end of his match? He looked kind of frustrated with himself. What was that conversation with him?
Connor's hard on himself. He's a real competitor, and I think he's probably turned into a fan favorite already. Anybody that wrestles that hard and tries to score that many points. If we can keep that guy healthy, and right now he's very healthy, he's going to really make a name for himself this year. I see it. We see it in the room. What you guys see, we see in the room. It translates over. But, he chases guys around. I mean, if you saw the pace of that, I don't think he backed up one time. And I think he was probably really wanting to get that tech fall, and he didn't get that last takedown. So that's probably why he was a little frustrated himself.
Did you challenge the guys to get tech falls?
Well, I think we talk a lot about being greedy, and that's part of being greedy, is when you got a chance to bonus point people. And ultimately, that's what's going to, we won a Big 12 championship a couple years ago because we got more bonus points than everybody else. So we talk a lot about being greedy and just not being happy with a regular decision when you got the ability to do more for your team. And so we're going to always beat that drum.
What were some of the biggest things you learned about your guys tonight?
I think we're in pretty good shape. I think I can't say that one guy went out there and, really fell off a cliff at the end of the match. So I really liked our shape overall. I mean, Haggerty threw up in the trash can afterwards, but he wrestled really hard and beat the national champ from Division II. So, we give him permission to throw up. But he wrestled really hard.
And then talk about the Frost brothers. I mean, you had them go at different weights. Talk about how you felt you saw them. How's Evan doing with his weight?
They're doing great. I mean, both of them had to weigh in. I think for the progression down in 2 weeks, I think Evan had to weigh 137, and I think we just had Jacob weigh like 151. So he could, he's going to be back in the hunt at 49, so we got to figure out some things there. So, those guys were giving up some weight and some size in those matches.
We've seen a concerted effort from Panera to put points on the scoreboard this season. And what difference, in my
Well, you said it, it's mindset. You know, it's the whole thing, is we know the guy's got ability. So, you know, not looking at the clock and thinking I got to get one more takedown is really the message that we try to keep convincing him to do. Is it's easy for him to shift into, oh my gosh, how much time do I got left? We got to keep him thinking, all right, I got one takedown, now I got to get two, now I got to get three. So there's a lot of brainwashing going on. So hopefully the brainwashing sessions continue to work, because he can score a lot of points when he's not worried about the clock.
Coach, what are your thoughts on C.J. Carter's performance going up against a really difficult opponent in Kinsella?
Yeah, the 97 heavyweight are two of their best guys. I think he's ranked number one in the nation. I don't know what he did last year, but I saw he's ranked number one in the nation in Division II. Really kind of a crafty guy. CJ's effort was off the charts. You know, that's what we always talk about first, his effort. His effort was off the charts. Just got to get better at wrestling. You know, he's still kind of a young kid. Didn't wrestle a lot in high school. Thought he was going to be a football player. Went to a junior college, won a junior college national title just on raw athletic ability. And now he's in with the big boys. And he's just got to really figure out how to get some more offense, you know. So that's just a thing where you got to get reps. And so we got to get the reps there where we can really go, you know, have a go-to takedown and be able to go pull the trigger and score when we got to. But his effort was phenomenal. I mean, man, he wrestled hard. Thanks, guys.